Hello everyone, this is Simple Math for you and our lesson today is line segments. أهلا بكم. اليوم درسنا هو القطع المستقيمة. What is the meaning of a line segment? A line segment is a measurable part of a line that consists of two endpoints or 2 points called endpoints and all of the points between them. The two endpoints are used to name the segments. For example, if you have a line extended forever, this line has many points and it is extended in both directions. يمتد إلى ما لا نهاية. You just take part of this line, only part of this line that you can measure. It consists of two endpoints. This is point A, this is point B, and it is including all the points between these endpoints. We can name this line segment as AB, or we can name it as BA. القطعة المستقيمة تسمى بالنقطتين البداية والنهاية، وليس هناك فرق بين تبدأ من A أو تبدأ من B. So this is the line segment, and of course because it's a line segment we can measure it. نستطيع قياسه، بينما اللاين الخط لا نستطيع قياسه لأنه غير منتهي. You know that for any two real numbers A and B there is a real number N، في عندنا number N between A and B بينهما such that N is more than A and less than B. This relationship applies to points on a line and it is called betweenness of points. For example, N here is between A and B. And if you know that this point is called C, point C is between A and B, then AC plus CB is definitely equal to A to B. This part plus this part equals the whole part. The sum of parts equals the whole. مجموع الأجزاء يساوي المجموع الكلي الذي يمثل القطعة الكبيرة من A إلى B. So we can find the measure of each segment required here. Find the measure of each segment. Question 1, PR. So you are asked to find only from P to R. You know that, you can do it mentally by the way, if you know that the total segment is has length 5.8, طول الكلي 5.8, part of it only is 3.7, so mentally you can say 5.8 minus 3.7, and you can use your calculator. If you do it mentally, it's okay. 5.8 minus 3.7, it is 2.1. If you want the details, then you can do it this way. You can say that PR plus RS is equal to PS. Look, R is between the two lines, so it is appearing here that it is common. PR, we know that it's unknown, plus RS, which is 3.7, is equal to PS, which is 5.8. X is 5.8 minus 3.7, which is 2.1 millimeter. And this is simply what we can do. Let's go ahead. We want from E to F simply and mentally. You can know that EF is equal to EG plus GF, which is 2.5 plus 2.8. 2.5 plus 2.8, which is 5.3 inches. What is JL? So we want the total JL. We know parts, simply you can add them. So JL is 0.75 plus 0.35, which is 1.1 centimeter. This is here mentally. SV is 4.1 minus 2.6, which is 1.5 millimeter, because this is part. Now we will move to expressions. We will use the same strategy, but now we have to find a variable. Find the value of the variable. We will have sometimes variable C, sometimes variable B, sometimes another variable. So it depends on the variable that you are going to find. If Y is between X and Z. So we have here to imagine that we have a segment XZ. Y is somewhere between. He didn't say midway. He didn't say at the middle. It's between them. And you are asked to find the variable and YZ. Now let's put the dimensions. خلينا نحط dimensions. XY, so from X to Y is 11. YZ is 4C. XZ from X to Z is just 83. So we have Y is between X and Z, as you see. So let's summarize what we have. We have segment XY plus segment YZ. The length of the segment I mean is equal to XZ. أكيد طول الكلي. مجموع الأجزاء يساوي المجموع الكلي. And we will replace 11 plus 4C equal to 83. We can subtract, if you like the other way, which is moving. So 4C is 83 minus 11, which is 72. And when you divide by 4, it is 80. So this is the value of the variable needed. Then you can simply replace to find the YZ. YZ mentioned to be 4C, so it is 4 times C. C in our case is 18, so it is 72. Of course, from the beginning, you can find YZ mentally because you know that the total measure is 83. Part of it is 11, so the other part is 72. Yes, you can find it this way. Next, depending on the same logic, we have here another question using that also Y is between X and Z, but with different dimensions. XY is 6B, YZ is 8B, and X to Z is 175. Again, let's write, it's called segment addition postulate. XY plus YZ is equal to XZ. XY is 6B, YZ is 8B, XZ is 175. Adding like terms, 6B plus 8B is 14B. And simply divide both sides by 14 to have 175 divided by 14, which is 12.5. This is the value of the variable needed. Then replace, he is asking about YZ, which is 8B. So we will multiply 8 by 18.5, which is 100. Of course, if you are asked to find XY, this will be the rest, which is 75. Move on. We have now same situation, X, Y somewhere between and Z. XY is 4W. YZ is 6W. And from X to Z is 12W minus 8. So we'll go to the same situation, same theory, same postulate, XY plus YZ is equal to XZ. And replace 4W plus 6W is equal to 12W minus 8. Now, combining like terms in this side, it is 10W. You can take the 12 there if you want, or vice versa, no worries. So negative 2W is negative 8. Divide both sides by negative 2. So W is 4. And this is the variable. He is asking to find YZ. YZ is 6W, so it is 6 times 4, which is 24. So this is the other item he's asking about. Now this was part 1, which is very easy. Now going to part 2, he is talking about line segment congruence. If two geometric figures have exactly the same shape and size, they are congruent. إذا لهم نفس الشكل ونفس الحجم نفس الطول يعتبروا اسمهم متطابقان. Congruent mean متطابقان, copy paste of each other. Two segments that have the same measure are congruent segments. And usually if the segments are congruent, they are equal in measure. Usually to identify that the segments are congruent on the shape, we will use the same tick mark. As you see here, AB and CD have the same tick mark since they have the same measure. And if we want to say AB is congruent to CD, we will put the equal and this sign above. This is the congruent symbol. متطابق يعني. And it is read as congruent to. Red slashes on the figure also indicate congruence. So segment AB is congruent to segment CD. Congruent segments have the same measure. Let's just highlight some points. If you have the same number of tick marks on different segments, that means they are congruent and accordingly they are equal in measure. Here we have set of congruent segments. مجموعة من القطع المتطابقة استخدموا نفس العدد من التكس أو الخطوط يعني لإيضاح التساوي. هلا أي segments متطابقة any segments that are congruent, if you know that this segment is congruent to that, definitely they will be equal in measure. Let's apply the congruent segments to find missing measures. Here you are asked to find the measure of MO. Since we have the same tick mark here, that means MN is exactly the same as NO and it's equal in measure. نفس القياس لأنه نفس الخط حاطين. So أكيد this part is 4.6 centimeter. If you are asked about MO, then M to O is 4.6 twice. You can add it twice, or you can multiply 4.6 by 2, which is 2 times 4.6, which is 9.2. This is MO. Let's move on. You are asked to find WY while you know the total length. This total length, which is 8.8, will be divided by 2, which is 4.4 millimeter. This will be the segment of WY or YX. Any one of them will have the same measure definitely. لأنه حينقسم بالنص بالضبط. Now in this case, it's not divided into two parts. It's divided into 1, 2, 3, 4 congruent parts. يعني 16.8 اتوزعت على 4 قطع بالتساوي. So each segment, كل قطعة will equal to 16.8 over 4. So we can say that FG is the same in length as GH, as HJ, as JK. Each one is 16.8 over 4. And when you divide, it will be 4.2. So that means this is one of the parts that he's asking about. So FG will answer his question, 4.2 centimeters. Don't forget the units. You might lose marks sometimes. Let's move to another question. We have here similar question, but be careful what he's asking about. This is divided into 1, 2, 3, 4 congruent segments. So each segment means PQ is equal to that, is equal to this, and it's equal to 14.4 divided by 4. So 14.4 divided by 4 is 3.6 inches. This is each segment. Now he is not asking about one of them, he is asking about segments from Q to T. So what will you do? Either you subtract 14.4 minus and take away one of the segments, and you will have 14.4 minus 3.6, which is 10.8. Or another approach is to multiply this one, the length of one of the segments, ضرب 3, multiplied by 3. So if you multiply, it will give you 3.6 times 3 will be 10.8. Definitely the same answer. إذا إحنا عشان نقسم إلى 4 أقسام في التساوي بنطلع طول كل قسم، كل قطعة لوحدها، وبعدين بنشوف إيش بالضبط المطلوب. مطلوب من Q إلى T، ممكن نجمع 3 مرات أو نضربها ب3 أو نطرح الكل ناقص واحد منهم. Now let's use algebra here, algebraic expression. We know that CD is equal to DE because they have the same tick mark. So we will write the equation as follows. And now we will refer back to the old information. نوجد حل المعادلة. We need to distribute، نوزع الضرب على الجمع أو على الطرح. 4 times x 4x. 4 times 3 is 12. And now combine like terms. Take the x's on one side and the numbers to the other side. Remember, change the sign when you move from one side to another side. So it will be 2x minus 4x equals to negative 12 remains, 7 positive goes negative 7. So we have negative 2x equals negative 19. Divide by negative 2 to have x only, so it is 9.5. This is x. He's not asking about x, he's asking about DE. What is DE? DE is 4 times x minus 3, so you just replace the x by minus 9.5 that we found. 4 times 6.5, which is 26. This is DE. Remember, if you have found x, it can be negative, but the length cannot be negative. If you find it negative, that means you have done something wrong. إذا طلع لك جواب سالب لطول قطعة مستقيمة، معناها في عملت شيء خطأ. Now we want ux here. Let's take another color here. ux from u to x, and we know that all these segments are congruent. We will choose 2 of them. It's enough to compare 2 of them. So we know that 3x plus 1 is equal to 4x minus 6. You can also use this. Try it, and you will find the same answer. Let's do this. Divide by negative 1 each, so x is 7. If you know that x is 7, replace in any segment. So I will replace in UV, which is equal to 3x plus 1. Replacing x by 7, so 3 times 7, 21, plus 1 is 22. So one of them is 22. So this is 22, this is 22, and this is also 22. He is asking about ux, and from u to x. So from u to x is 3 times 22, or 22 plus 22 plus 22, which is 66. This is the total length needed. Read the question carefully to know what is required exactly. Find the value of x if RS is 24 centimeters. Now this total length is 24, and remember, he is not telling you that RT equal to TS. So we'll go back to the theory that says RT plus TS is equal to RS. And we are replacing back. I prefer to combine like terms in the same side first before we move. So 6x is 24 minus 6, which is 18. When you divide, x is 3. And this is what he needs exactly. Real life application. Madison lives between Anoa and Jamie. So we can say M lives between A and J. the distance between A and M, here we put on the sketch 3x plus 2 miles. The distance between M and J is 3x plus 4. And the distance between M and J, and the distance between A and J house is represented by 9x minus 3. So from here to here is 9x minus 3. From A to J. It's better to put all the dimensions on the sketch. It is easier for you to identify what segments should be added. The question, find the value of x, then the distance between M and J house. So as we have done, AM plus MJ equals A to J. Look here, M here. AM plus MJ is equal to AJ. M is common. So AM is 3x plus 2. MJ is 3x plus 4. AJ is 9x minus 3. 3x plus 3x, 6x. 2 plus 4, 6. Try to simplify as much as you can. Now x is together, numbers together. So 6x minus 9x is negative 6 minus 3. Negative 3x is negative 9. And when you divide over minus 3, so x is 3. This is part 1 that he's asking about. X is 3. Now you are asked to find distance from M to J between Madison's and Jamie. So we want MJ, which is 3x plus 4. I will replace x by 3. So it is 9 plus 4, which is 13. He is talking in miles here. So we have 13 miles distance between Madison's and Jamie's house. Another question. You are waiting at the end of a long straight line. So we have here a straight line, long one. You are waiting at the end at a coffee express. This is you at the coffee express shop. Your friend Denzel D is R plus 2 feet in front of you. So here distance R plus 12 feet. هنا يبعد يعني دي بمكان ما بين الاثنين يعني. And Denzel is 2R plus 4 feet away from the front of a line. This is the front of the line. This is the front. I'll call it F, front of the line. D is 2R plus 4 away from here. If Denzel, this lady or this guy, is exact middle of the line. Middle يعني بالوسط معناها إنه this is equal to that part. So directly كلمة middle or D is the midway, YD is equal to DF. How many feet away are you from front of the line? We need the total length. So first of all, we want to write the equation to find R. And we can solve it this way. So minus R is minus 8. So R is 8. After you find 8, you replace. Let's replace in any of the segments. If you replace to find YD, which is R plus 12, so it is 8 plus 12, which is 20. Is it the required thing? هذا المطلوب؟ لا، المطلوب from Y to F, from U to the front of the line. So it will be 20 times 2, because this side, this line segment is equal to that. If you know that this is 20, and this should be 20, so you will add it twice, or you multiply 20 by 2, and this will be 40. And he is measuring in feet. This is the nice application that we have done using congruent segments, and with that we are done with this lesson. Thank you all. شكرا لكم وإلى اللقاء في الدرس القادم.